reaction when you saw Mississippi State, knowing kind of your Egg Bowl history and all that?
Well, was excited. Number one, that we're going to a bowl game. Just being 2-10 last year, was just excited to have an opportunity to do that. And but then once we found out who the opponent was, of course, it heightened just a little bit more, just because of the history that I've had with those guys. Since my playing days in college, and then of course coaching as well. So a little bit excited because I know I got a lot of people back at home from my hometown that are Mississippi State people, and a lot of those guys said they're going to be wearing red on game day, so that's important to me.
What, I guess, you have a favorite memory from your time playing in the Egg Bowl?
We're just going 4-1 against them. That's the main thing. But just the rivalry within itself, just the competition year in and year out. You got 365 days of bragging rights. So, winning 4 games to 1 is special to me.
Being someone who played in that, make sure you watch it every year?
Oh yeah, I've been watching it every year because that's my alma mater, So seeing the game 21-20 this past season it hurt me a little bit, to see my team end up losing. But it's always one of the best rivalries in college football to watch, and just the tenacity in that game is something that you always cherish for sure.
Bryan, what have bowl practices been like? And kind of, I'm assuming you've transitioned into kind of a game week.
Yeah. Well, it's been great, man. It's been great to get a lot of the young guys a lot of reps, especially last week. Fundamentally, I think that was more important than anything, is continue to get those guys some reps and work on fundamentals. And then us defensively with the first and second group working tackling, again. So that has been a big positive for us, I think, to get back to the fundamentals of the game as opposed to worrying about scheme. That's one thing that we really focus on in bowl prep, and now getting ready for these guys schematically it's really key for us to make sure that we play our base defense the right way and fit where we need to fit. And this game we are going to get some passes, so we gotta do better in the passing game as well. But make sure that we fit things right and get downhill.
There's always talk about bowl games, and everyone you watch about tackling and teams being prepared. How do you make sure your team is prepared?
Well, you got to limit what you do. But you also got to make sure that the guys understand how to do it and where to be and different checks and things of that nature, and kind of limit it as much as you can. But you got to do a lot of walkthroughs with all the time that we have. And so we're just excited that we have this opportunity, and I think the guys will be a little bit more amped up for it because it's a bowl game, but also because of the last showing that we had. I know they know that that's not who we were and who we are all season. So they're excited to get back on the playing field.
Certainly a challenge going to be facing the SEC's top rusher. When you look at him up film, what makes him stand out? What makes him so good?
He's just elusive. He's a very dynamic back that can make you miss, but also he will lower his shoulder and does a good job within the tackles. When he sees any type of little tiny space and opening, he has a 0 to 90 real quick to where he can burst and hit that hole real quick. But he also is a dynamic catcher as well, so he catches the ball out of the backfield and do things to get him the ball in space. He's just a dynamic running back and just your everyday SEC running back.
You describe him, sounds a little bit like Hawk.
Yeah.
Does it help a little bit knowing you've, practiced against Hawk sometimes and been able to be around somebody?
A little bit, but this guy's a little bit more seasoned, and the fact that he's been through the fire a good bit. This was Hawk's first season and had an unbelievable season for us, and I think Hawk will end up being something similar to this guy, to Hill. But he's a dynamic running back, and we look forward to the challenge.
How important is a good performance defensively for you guys? Not just obviously to get the win, but to kind of shake off the UK game and build some momentum going into the offseason?
Well, I think it's important for us in general, like you said, to have a little momentum going into the offseason, and then we end up getting maybe 18 to 20 newcomers in that'll help, tremendously defensively for sure, for us going into spring ball. But it's key for us to any time, it don't matter if you're offense, defense, just as a team in general, to come off a win, bowl season. It's always fun, because now you got the whole off season, to relish your win, but also to understand, hey, we still can get better. Coming off a loss is a little bit different, you're probably moping, all off season, but it's important for us to get this win for sure.
Did you see any moping after the Kentucky game?
Just a little bit, with us, getting out on the road, recruiting. We really didn't get a chance to watch film with those guys until about a week and a half later. So we did the I'm trying to think of what it was, the gifts for the kids, and so we saw the kids the next day. So you could kind of tell a little bit it was a little moping, but that we couldn't wait to get back to practice and get to watch the film about a week and a half later. And the guys understand, hey, there's so many times we're right there to make plays and we just don't make them, you know. And then sometimes we just wasn't fitting like we normally fit all season long, just in our base stuff. And so I was very disappointed. They were very disappointed and very embarrassed with their performance, and I was as a coach, you know. So obviously we didn't get those guys ready to play that game, and but we look forward to the challenge again next year.
You mentioned recruiting. Obviously, you just signed a bunch of guys. Coming into this year, you mentioned a number of times depth and size was a need. You know, what's your thoughts on the defensive guys you brought in?
Oh man, we're excited about those guys. I can tell you that right now. All those guys, every single last one of them. And but we still will not be where we need to be depth-wise. You know, that's going to take maybe another year after the fact. But will it fill some holes? Yes, it will fill some holes, but nowhere near where we need to be depth-wise, even with this recruiting class. It's going to take at least one more class in order for us to get what we need defensively. But these guys coming in, man, they're going to be some football players. And we see a lot of those guys probably end up playing early next year, and early and often, to be honest with you. So we're just excited about them. Can't wait to get them on campus so we can start working with them.
Right, for you, looking at the defense specifically, what has this year been like compared to kind of the expectations you had of this group?
Well, you really didn't know what expectations you really have. You know, the guys coming off a 2-10 season, and you know, when we first get here, you know, a lot of you guys told me, hey, this is the worst defense in college football history. So when you take it over a defense that, you know, gave up a lot of points and, you know, was at the very, very bottom defensive statistically, you really didn't know what to expect, you know. And but our expectations as a defense as a whole, from where we come from, we've always been a top 10 defense, top 20 defense. So those are our expectations. So we nowhere near met those, and we have a long way to go. But I think we made strides because we won 7 games. You know, that's the one thing we always pride ourselves on. Do we win the game or do we not? You know, that's the main and most important stat is the win column. And, you know, giving up yards and all that, no, we don't want to do it, but we want to win. And however that comes, that's how it comes. But my expectation is really, really high defensively, and we want to shut people out. We want to limit them explosive plays, and we want to give our offense the ball back as much as we can, because we got some talent on offense. We got some guys that can score some points really, really quickly. And but you know, I think we got better as the season went on. That last game was atrocious, but I think we're gonna see this defense start moving a little forward here and going up as opposed to going backwards. And we look forward to it, especially in this bowl game. And I'm excited.
Any special plans for Christmas with your family? The little amount of free time that you may have.
Well, this would be the first Christmas that we have spent. My family has spent just together, as far as just my wife and my 2 kids by ourselves. Normally, all our bowl games have been really early, so we always travel back home to Mississippi and spend Christmas, you know, whether it's with my parents this year, the following year it'll be her parents. So this will be our first time really by ourselves, and we're excited about that, just to have Christmas, wake up on Christmas Day at our house. So my kids are excited and we're excited, and but nothing special. We have a couple of players over because some of them may not get to go home, so those guys will be over for dinner.
All right.